There's a particular moment that comes on every real path in life, and it can feel lonely until you understand it. It's the moment the map runs out. The moment when the standard route, the thing everyone else does, the way you were told it goes, the advice that works for most people, simply stops fitting your actual life. And you're left with a quiet, slightly scary realization. From here, there's no map. There's only the way that's uniquely yours. Tonight, the sky turns toward exactly that moment. The moon is a thin waning crescent, August 8th, 2026, about 24% lit now, nearly emptied, making her own quiet way toward the dark. And the sun sits in gate 7, the gate of the self and direction in its third line, the line of the one who finds their own way through what actually works, even when it means leaving the well-worn road. This gate has taught you to know your own direction and to lead by listening. Tonight it asks something braver, to trust the path that's only yours. This is your moon letter for the way that's only yours. Let's open it. Look up tonight, and she's a thin waning crescent, only about 24% lit, most of her face already in shadow, nearly at the end of her long journey toward the dark. And notice, she's making this final stretch entirely on her own. There's no other moon beside her, no map laid out, no crowd of lights following the same path. She's simply doing what her own nature and timing ask, thinning, emptying, moving toward her own dark and her own renewal, regardless of whether anything else is doing the same. The moon has never once waited to see what the other lights are doing before choosing her way. She follows her own cycle completely. That's the perfect image for tonight, because tonight is about trusting your own path even when it diverges from everyone else's. The crescent doesn't apologize for waning while other things are bright. She doesn't force herself to stay full because that's what's expected. She follows the way that's genuinely hers, all the way into the dark, trusting it will bring her around to a new beginning. Tonight, she models the quiet courage of the authentic path, doing what's truly yours, in your own timing, even when it looks different from everything around you. The energy tonight is warmth that trusts its own path, Leo's heart finding the courage to be genuinely itself, even when itself looks different from the crowd. In some ways, this is Leo's deepest theme of all. Leo is here to be authentically, unmistakably itself, to express its own true nature rather than a borrowed one. And yet, even Leo can get pulled into doing things the standard way, following the expected route, dimming its own particular light to match what everyone else is doing. Tonight's growth is remembering that your warmth, your path, your way of doing things was never meant to be a copy. That the whole point is to be the specific, particular, one-of-a-kind self you actually are, and to trust the path that self is drawn to, even when there's no one else walking it. This isn't about being different for the sake of it or rejecting everything shared. It's about the courage to let your real path diverge where it genuinely needs to, without apology. To warm the world with your actual light, on your actual road, rather than a dimmer imitation of someone else's. So tonight's energy invites your Leo heart to trust itself, to walk the way that's genuinely yours, and to trust that your particular light was always meant to shine on its own particular path. In human design, the sun is in gate 7, the gate of the self and of direction, and tonight it's the third line, which RA associated with a kind of creative anarchy. The pragmatist, the one who finds the way forward through real-world trial rather than inherited rules. This is a fascinating line in the gate of direction, because it's where direction stops being about following the established path and becomes about discovering your own. The third line learns by doing, by experimenting, by finding out through actual experience what genuinely works, and it's willing to abandon the standard route when the standard route doesn't fit. There's an independence here, even a healthy rebelliousness. Not rebellion for its own sake, but the honest recognition that sometimes the received map simply doesn't match the real territory of your life, and you have to be willing to find your own way. RA spoke of this line's challenge as the trial and error, the bumps and course corrections, The fact that finding your own way is messier than following someone else's. But its gift is precious. The pragmatic wisdom that trusts what actually works over what's merely prescribed, and the courage to walk a path that's genuinely yours even when there's no map for it. This is direction at its most authentic, not the way you were told to go, but the way you discover is truly right for you, one honest experiment at a time. So, Gate 7, third line, offers tonight's braver teaching. When the inherited map runs out, trust yourself to find the way that's actually yours. So let's understand why your path was never really meant to match everyone else's, why divergence at a certain point is natural and healthy rather than a sign that you're doing life wrong. The first reason is almost mathematical. The standard route is an average, and you're not average. The conventional path, the way you're supposed to do things, the typical timeline, the standard advice, is essentially an average built for the middle of a bell curve. It's designed to roughly fit the most people at once, which means it's not designed to deeply fit any specific person, including you. You're not a statistical average. You're a particular, specific human with your own nature, needs, and circumstances. So of course the average route fits you only roughly, and of course there are places it doesn't fit at all. That's not you failing the standard. That's the standard being a standard. The second reason follows. What worked for them was built for their life, not yours. When we borrow someone else's path, their method, their timeline, their approach, we forget that it was shaped by their specific situation, temperament, and starting point. It worked for them because it fit them. Lift it out of their life and drop it into yours, and it may not fit at all, no matter how well it worked over there. This is why so much good advice fails. Not because it was wrong, but because it was right for a different life. Your life needs a path shaped by your actual conditions, not someone else's. The third reason is a real paradox worth sitting with. A path that fits everyone usually fits no one deeply. The more universal a route is, the more it's designed to work for absolutely everyone, the more generic it has to be, and the less it can honor the specifics of any real individual. Truly deep fit is personal by nature. So the very universality that makes the standard path safe and shareable is also what makes it shallow for your particular life. At some point, fitting your own life, well, requires leaving the one-size-fits-all route for something more tailored to you. And the fourth reason reframes the whole thing. Diverging isn't failing the map, it's outgrowing it. We tend to feel guilty or anxious when our path starts departing from the expected one, as if we're doing something wrong, falling behind, or breaking a rule. But often, divergence is a sign of growth, not failure. It means you've developed enough self-knowledge to notice where the standard route doesn't serve you, and enough honesty to admit it. You're not failing the map. You've simply grown beyond the point where a generic map can guide you, and arrived at the place where you have to draw your own. That's not a step backward. It's one of the most mature steps there is. So, if your path is genuinely meant to be your own, the practical question is, how do you actually trust your own way, especially when there's no map and no crowd confirming it? Here are 4 honest supports. First, notice where the standard advice quietly stopped fitting. Your own path usually announces itself first as a subtle misfit, a place where the usual advice, the expected route, the thing everyone recommends just doesn't sit right for you anymore. Don't override that feeling, investigate it. Where has the standard guidance quietly stopped working in your actual life? That point of misfit is often exactly where your own way begins. The discomfort isn't a malfunction, it's a signpost pointing off the main road toward yours. Second, trust the small experiments over the big prescriptions. When there's no map, you don't find your way through grand certainty. You find it through small, honest experiments. Try something, see how it actually feels and works in your real life. Keep what fits, drop what doesn't. This is the pragmatist method, and it's far more trustworthy than any sweeping prescription. Big one-size answers promise certainty they can't deliver. Small experiments give you real, personal data. Trust the little tests over the loud pronouncements. Third, let what actually works for you outrank what should. This is the heart of it. Notice the difference between what's supposed to work, what the experts, the norms, the shoulds all insist is right, and what actually works in your real, lived experience. When those two conflict, the pragmatist trusts reality over theory. If something is genuinely working for you, even though it's not how it's supposed to be done, that's real information you're allowed to honor. Your lived reality gets to outrank the prescription. And fourth, the one that turns doubt into guidance. Your unease with the usual road is information, not weakness. When you feel that you can't quite walk the standard path, we tend to read it as a flaw. I must be broken, lazy, difficult, incapable of doing it the normal way. But very often, that unease is not weakness. It's your own nature telling you the truth, that this particular road isn't yours. Treat it as a defect. It just makes you feel wrong. Treat it as information. It becomes a compass, pointing you, by its very discomfort, toward the way that would actually fit. Your resistance to a path that isn't yours is not a problem to fix. It's guidance to follow. So how do you actually honor your own road tonight, in a real and grounded way? 3 quiet moves. First, name one place your real path diverges from the expected one. Get specific. Look at your actual life and find one genuine spot where your true way differs from the standard route. A choice, a pace, a value, a direction that's honestly yours even though it's not what's expected. Maybe it's the timeline you're on, the way you work, the thing you want, the shape your life is taking. Just name one honest place where your road and the expected road part ways. Bringing it into the light is the first step to trusting it. Second, give yourself permission to walk it without apology. This is the crucial inner move. So often we half-walk our own path while apologizing for it, hedging, explaining, feeling guilty, waiting for permission that never comes. Tonight, quietly grant yourself that permission. Your path is allowed to be different. You don't owe anyone an apology or a justification for the way that's genuinely yours. Let yourself walk it standing up straight, without the apology you've been attaching to it. Third, take the next step even without a map for the whole way. You don't need to see the entire road to walk it. You just need to take the next honest step in the direction that's yours, and trust that the following step will become clear once you're there. This is how every real path gets walked when there's no map, one honest step at a time, trusting the way to reveal itself as you go. So take one step tomorrow that honors your own road, even though you can't see where it fully leads. And here's the gift hidden in all of it. When you trust and walk the way that's genuinely yours, something in you comes home. The chronic, low-grade wrongness of trying to fit a life that isn't yours fades and is replaced by a quiet rightness, the deep relief of finally being on your own true road. It may look different from everyone else's. It may have no map, but it fits in a way the borrowed path never could. And walking it is how you become fully, unmistakably yourself. Here is your ritual for honoring the way that's only yours, a quiet practice in trusting your own road. When the evening settles, step outside and find her. The thin waning crescent, about 24% lit, nearly emptied, making the final stretch of her journey toward the dark entirely on her own. No other light beside her, no map, just her own true course followed all the way home. Let her remind you that following your own way, in your own timing, is not lonely rebellion. It's simply nature being itself. Then, standing there, name one place where your real path diverges from the expected one. Be specific and honest. Where does your true road genuinely differ from the standard route? In pace, in choice, in value, in direction? Say it plainly to yourself. Here, my way is different. And that's real. Then do the brave inner thing. Give yourself permission to walk it without apology. Feel yourself set down the guilt, the justification, the waiting for approval. Quietly tell yourself, my path is allowed to be mine. I don't owe anyone an apology for the way that's genuinely right for me. And finally, Choose one honest step you can take tomorrow on that road. One real, doable step that honors your own way, even though you can't see the whole path. Name it and commit to it. And as you turn back inside, walk a little taller, carrying the quiet courage of the crescent who follows her own true course all the way into the dark. Your road is allowed to look different. It's allowed to have no map.
Trust it and take the next step.
It's the way that's only yours, and it's the only one that will ever truly fit. So, let this be the letter you keep from tonight. When the map runs out, the only way left is the one that's uniquely yours. The thin crescent makes her final journey to the dark on her own true course. No other light beside her, no map, and no apology for waning while other things are bright. Your path deserves the same trust. The standard route is an average, and you're not average. What worked for someone else was built for their life, not yours, and a path made to fit everyone usually fits no one deeply. So when your real way starts to diverge from the expected one, that's not you failing the map, it's you outgrowing it. Notice where the standard advice quietly stopped fitting. Trust small, honest experiments over big prescriptions. Let what actually works for you outrank what merely should. And treat your unease with the usual road as information, not weakness. Then name where your path is genuinely yours. Give yourself permission to walk it without apology, and take the next step even without a map for the whole way. Your road is allowed to look different. Trust it. It's the only one that will ever truly fit. Thank you for trusting the way that's only yours tonight, and for the quiet courage it takes to walk your own road. A new letter from the sky arrives every single day, and the crescent is nearly emptied now. Soon the dark, and then a fresh new moon. A blank page, a place to begin your own way again. Until then, trust your own road, take your next honest step, and walk gently.